This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some major updates to share with you. I'll give an update on the increase in Social Security checks and the bill in Congress right now to make it happen. Also, Elizabeth Warren talking about student loan forgiveness, as well as Democrats having to get off their rear end and make something happen before the midterm election. Also, she was a big proponent for Social Security increase as well. Latest stimulus check articles like this $2,000 water stimulus check, as well as the $1,700 summer stimulus check. And also the Biden administration is giving out $385 million for energy costs, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a more than mundane Monday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm giving $200 to my subscribers. I'll talk more about that later on in the video, but first, Biden administration to send $385 million to states to offset high home energy costs. So with the summer coming along, this money is going to be used to help offset any cooling, heating as well, but mainly cooling for the summer. So basically $385 million is going to be distributed through the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, also known as LIHEAP, I guess is how you would say it, and the announcement comes as Americans face high utility bills as Russia's invasion of Ukraine sends energy prices soaring amid persistent global supply chain problems. So yeah, this money is going to be in addition to the $4.5 billion that the American Rescue Plan provided to LIHEAP. And so an example of that, like New Jersey residents to get 13 million more from feds to help pay home energy bills. So basically this 13 million or 12.8 million is going to help with heating and cooling bills for New Jersey, and this is going to all 50 states. New Jersey is just an example of how they're using that. Then Social Security, 8 new Social Security bills in Congress, but we'll just talk about one of the most important ones of how Social Security can increase. So, for example, Pramila Jayapal, who is one of the people pushing this bill, which is the Social Security 2100, also known as HR 5723, she said, the bill increases benefits across the board at a time of higher inflation, protects low-income seniors, widows and widowers, ends wait times for those with disabilities needing support, and more. Crucially, it is paid for by making millionaires and billionaires pay the same rate as everyone else by ensuring that payroll tax is applied to wages above $400,000. So basically, Pramila Jayapal is urging Pelosi to move the bill in a House vote as soon as possible. So this would help increase Social Security checks as well. So basically what it's saying here is that the bill makes a number of urgently needed improvements to the program, including increasing retirement, disability, and dependent benefits, protecting against inflation, removing penalties against dual income households, ending the 5-month waiting period for disability benefits, and I guess a few more things as well. So this bill would increase the benefits of Social Security as well as a few other things. Speaking of increasing the benefits, so actually that bill is still in Congress, hasn't moved forward yet. I'll keep you updated. But in terms of expanding Social Security, so this is according to Elizabeth Warren's website, where with her plan, she wants to increase standard Social Security and Social Security disability insurance benefits immediately by $200 a month, giving $2,400 a year for every current and future beneficiary in America. So an extra $200 per month for SSI, SSDI, anybody on Social Security per month, more per month. And that plan was adopted by President Biden on his campaign trail, which we've heard nothing about ever since. So the $200 per month increase, that we haven't heard anything, especially since President Biden promised that. We've heard Elizabeth Warren promote it here and there, not so much. But yeah, it's just basically gone silent. Speaking of Elizabeth Warren, so Elizabeth Warren says Democrats are going to lose if we don't get up and deliver before election. Also saying this, get up off our rear ends or lose badly in midterms. Elizabeth Warren warns Democrats, basically saying things need to be done, things need to happen. She talks about student loan forgiveness, helping out with inflation, plus a few other things. Take a look at what she has to say here.
You wrote a new op-ed just this week warning about the economic pain that so many Americans are facing. Inflation is at a 40-year high. You have been working on economic issues your entire life. So do you think that inflation has peaked? And could the U.S. be facing a recession?
Well, We have a lot of economic headwinds in front of us, but the way I see this is how families are experiencing it right now. And that is because of supply chain problems and because of price gouging from giant corporations. Families are paying more at the pump. They're paying more when they go to the grocery store. They're paying more when they try to buy hamburger. And so it is the responsibility of Congress, of the president, to get out there and make the changes we need to make to bring down those prices for families. And we can do that. We have the tools, but we got to get up off our rear ends and make it happen.
Do you think that America is heading towards a recession if it doesn't act, if Congress and the president don't act?
Look, we are in an uneasy economic moment, but I think talk of recession is way too early. We are doing better on unkinking the supply chain, and that helps. We also need to push back against the giant corporations that have decided not only are they going to pass along costs, they're going to take a big dollop of extra profits. And those are things that get our economy, I think the way to describe it is they get it out of whack. They get prices too high. We've got too many corporations that are doing too much profit gathering. But do keep in mind how strong many of the fundamentals are. The president has created 7.9 million new jobs in the first 14 months that he's been in office. Unemployment is low, and that is a very good sign. GDP is high. We're still seeing growth. So, sure, there's plenty to worry about. Obviously, Ukraine is another unknown in that. But I think that for me, it's less concern about recession over the long arc and more about the immediacy of what's happening to American families and what we in Congress, what our administration can do about it now. We do those things, you get the fundamentals back in line, and I feel better about where the economy goes.
Well, you probably have seen some highly respected economists, from Larry Summers to Jason Furman, say that it is, in fact, what Congress did, the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan, that was too big and is now a contributing factor to inflation. I understand there are a lot of factors that contribute to inflation. Is this one of them?
You know, Dana, when someone says too big, I hope that they go talk to the millions of small business owners whose businesses were saved because we actually put money into a rescue plan. I also hope they will talk to the millions of people who've gotten vaccinations and who've gotten free testing, because that's how we bring COVID under control so that businesses can be open, so that this economy can move forward. And talk to the millions of people who have jobs. Just over a year ago, the economists were predicting that we were going to be facing multiple years of high unemployment and low GDP. But because the Democrats acted, and let's be clear, the Democrats last spring had to act alone, couldn't pick up a single Republican vote. Because the Democrats acted, we have the basics, we have the fundamentals working in this economy. And you know, there's the difference. The Democrats are out there trying to do something. We're trying to save small businesses. We're trying to lower costs for the family who's standing there at the grocery checkout line and trying to figure out what to send back because they don't have enough money to cover. And what are the Republicans doing? They're saying, let's fight the culture wars. They have no ideas on the economy other than to impose pain on American families and small businesses. That's not an idea. What they want is they want power for themselves rather than to help the American people.
You're talking about Republicans. Midterms are now less than 200 days away. I want to share part of President Biden's message to Democratic donors in Seattle just this week. He said, quote, "I admit to you what I haven't done. And the reason I'm getting out on the road instead of dealing with the day-to-day emergencies in my office is making the case of what we've done." Is touting accomplishments a winning strategy for Democrats in November?
Look, I am very glad to talk about what we've done, obviously, and I think the president deserves real credit. But it's not enough. We've got less than 200 days until the election, and American families are hurting. Our job, while we are here in the majority, is to deliver on behalf of those families. And that means making government work for them. And there is so much that we can do, and so much, frankly, that is popular across the country among Democrats, Republicans, and independents. We can, for example, stop the price gouging. Let's authorize the FTC to investigate and prosecute on price gouging. That'll help bring down prices. Let's attack the corruption in Washington head on so that we're actually saying members of Congress can't trade in stocks. Let's cancel student loan debt. The president has the power to do that all by himself and would touch the lives of tens of millions of people across this country. There is so much we can do, and if we do it over the next 200 days, we're going to be in fine shape. This is what democracy is about. Take it to the people what we've done, but we need to get the work done.
And if you don't, will you lose control of Congress?
Yeah, I think we're going to be in real trouble. If we don't get up and deliver, then I believe that Democrats are going to lose. Democrats win when they when they work on behalf of working people. And we can't just rest on what we've already done. We need to be fighting going forward. There are things that the American people elected us to do, and we still need to get out there and do them. We do that, then we're going to be fine.
What are your thoughts on what Elizabeth Warren has to say? Do you agree, disagree? So as usual, and pretty much every single week, Elizabeth Warren also urges Biden to cancel student loan debt ahead of midterms. So another promise that President Biden made was to cancel $10,000 of student debt for every federal student loan borrower, along with a $200 increase. He did say more stimulus checks, which I guess he did fulfill that promise. But yeah, a lot of promises that were made, and I think it's going to be trouble for the Democrats unless they could follow through with some of those promises. What are your thoughts on all of that? Let's talk about some stimulus check news here as well. So, new $2,000 stimulus check offered by state. Here's what the exact criteria is and how you can be the first to apply. So, up to $2,000 in assistance will be offered from the Low-Income Household Water Assistance Program, focusing on families whose water bills are 30 days or more past due. So $2,000, that's a lot in water bills. Mine are definitely not that much. Take quick showers and stuff. But no family or child should go without access to water because of challenges paying bills. And with the launch of the new water assistance program, Maryland is expanding access to more affordable water for low-income households. So I guess up to $2,000 if your bill is past 30 days due. So fees may also be paid to reconnect household water services. So not really, if we go back up here, not really a $2,000 water stimulus check, just a $2,000 check. Well, I don't know. What is it a stimulus check or just a regular check? Let me know down in the comments below. And then gas stimulus payments, and the U.S. government. So what this is talking about is the Chicago potential $150 gas card to help offset the rising cost of expenses, which will go to low-income residents hit harder in neighborhoods will be prioritized. 75% of the cards will go to the south and west side neighborhoods. The remaining 25% will go out to the rest of Chicago. So this is still in the legislation phase, not official, but $150 gas cards in Chicago. And then summer bonus, $1,700 stimulus checks for couples approved by state. See date. Thousands get cash from $1.2 billion pop. So this is just talking about the main stimulus check just approved for $850 $850 for singles, $1,700 for couples, which is going to go out as soon as June 1st, which technically I guess is not summer, but anyways, that is all the stimulus news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Belle. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something that you should always do. Sometimes just sit on your bed or sit at a table on your counter and sit down and take 10 breaths. Breathe in and breathe out because you need yourself to feel relaxed. And that's all I wanted to tell you for today. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. And don't forget about the $200 checks I'm giving out to my subscribers. Still have a couple more days left. And we went to the beach yesterday, had a good time. My daughter Bella riding the one wheel like a pro now. She's great. She rides it all over the beach now, cruising around, which is pretty cool to see. If you want to check out my latest video on my other channels, you could click up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.